afternoon and welcome to Canal de English. I am Elie Smith. The headlines. In the ongoing crisis between West Cameroon and the central government in Yaounde, Paul Biya is the only one to offer
of the Social Democratic Front, the SDF party.
The declaration of the chair of the
on
Social
the federal
Democratic Front
state option.
After
the SDF
next
chairman was clear that only the head of state Paul.
Striking teachers in Yaounde claims they have not been paid for 5 years. They have not been paid for 5 years, but how were they making a living? Those will be the details that Beatrice Ngamo will be developing in this newscast. Those were the headlines. We will be beginning this news this afternoon with the crisis in the Northwest region. This time around, according to the chairman of the Social Democratic Front, after a meeting held in Yaounde, he says only Paul Biya can offer solution in the ongoing crisis. Our correspondent was there. Her name is Beatrice Ngamo and files us this report.
The long-awaited meeting of the National Executive Committee of the Social Democratic Front, the SDF party scribes were framed on their federal state option. The SDF chairman was clear that only the head of state, Paul Biya, can solve what is now termed the Anglophone crisis.
You saw the way I held Mr. Biya's hand at a tutti. I, at one stage, felt ashamed that the president was going. I held his hand. I held his hand because of what I'd lived in Bamenda. I held his hand because I knew what was going on. I had to come in as a politician. And I am here consulting both Anglophone and Francophone leaders. Please, what can we do? Mr. Biya is adamant. What can we do?
The party, like any other, is open to problems.
So, the SDF has problems in the center. The SDF has problems in Douala. Even in the Northwest, we have problems. Those are signs of an active party where children, I want to be here, I want to be there.
On the April National Convention, Major Frundi said all the meetings they are holding are looking forward to that. But for the fact that the Northwest and Southwest regions are unstable for visitors.
We are discussing and trying to make the convention hold. And we want to get the things corrected, smoothened, and Mr. Biya should come in. And if Mr. Biya does not come in to take on some of the recommendations we are calling him to take, it means that he is using this as the Boko Haram thing to cancel elections or to put in place methods to rig elections.
Honorable Joshua Osi, as any other Cameroonian, has the right to aspire to be presidential candidate. Frundi also made it clear he has not dismissed Honorable Wiriba Joseph.
This is the agenda of the party. Wiriba's name is not mentioned here. If I mention his name in passing, it was to stress the point that anybody within a political party, you should be talking on behalf of the party and not on your personal behalf. We congratulate him that he articulated well in Parliament, but we warned him that you don't talk I am from a warrior.
These and many others, the content of the SDF agenda last Saturday at the residence of the national chairman of the party, New John Fronde, Yaounde.
While in the Adamawa region, 8 Cameroonians who were captured or kidnapped by highway robbers have been set free by the Rapid Intervention Brigade. In the meantime, an 8-year-old child in the same region has been declared missing. Ndi Morin has more.
These Cameroonians are warmly received by their families after weeks in captivity. The scene happens in Galim Taniri, a locality in the Adamawa region of Cameroon. Faliyu, 8 years old, was among 8 other persons held hostage by highway robbers. The kidnappings occurred on February 28 and March 17, 2017, affecting 4 localities: Yem, Joyayel, Mama, and Malay. This has brought untold devastation and mournings in families of victims. Sidiki Usmanu is the uncle of 8-year-old Faliyu, also kidnapped. He says they are so happy receiving him back home after weeks of disappearance. He thanks governments and elements of B for facilitating the release.
Vraiment, le BI d'avoir fait ce grand travail et nous remercions le gouvernement.
The commander of the field operation unit of B had embarked on the research and put in place strategy that helped free the hostages. Mamadou Alioum was among those kidnapped. He says they kidnapped 6 people. He emphasized the kidnappers asked the village head to pay the sum of 5 million francs CFA, and failure to do so, they would kill the entire village. The armed robbers threatened they were assassins and have no sentiment. Ibrahim Issa is still traumatized by the happenings. He applauds elements of B for facilitating their release. He says several gunshots were fired in the air, and that was how he managed to escape.
Des coupeurs de route allant vers les gars du Bir.
An 8-year-old child is still missing. Elements of B said they have put in place strategy to free him from the hands of the kidnappers.
Not only the Anglophones are known to be striking. This time around, the strike has crossed the River Mongo, and it is well established and rooted in the nation's capital. Why or what is happening? According to the striking teachers, some of them have been for 5 years without pay, and they have decided at last to voice their discontent at the Ministry of Finance. Beatrice Ngamo was there and once again files us this report from Yaounde.
They are unanimous in their outburst this March 27 in front of Finance Ministry in Yaounde.
We want our salaries. We've been working for too long, 60 months without pay. That's too much. We're working for this nation and we cannot be tortured like this. 3 years of graduation that I left school. How do I survive? I have been posted in Akwaya where I don't have light, I don't have electricity, nothing, no network. I can't communicate with my family. I need something. They should give my salary.
We are here to ask the Minister of Finance to pay us our money.
So we are here to ask for our salaries that will enable us to go and teach the students.
We're here to ask for our salaries.
The teachers, members of the Indignite Teachers Collective of Cameroon.
We need our basic salary that the Article 27 states in this constitution.
How can you treat a teacher the way you are treating us like that? It's not fair.
We are fed up, so we want our salaries plus the arrears. Everybody must be paid, else no pay, no school.
Consultations have been ongoing for long, and the last stop, Finance Ministry.
We wrote to the Minister of Secondary Education and he told us that he had already given the go-ahead to the Ministry of the Finance.
20,000 files have been sent to the Minister for Finance for payment. He has not paid till now. That is why we decided to come here today and tell Mr. Alamin Ousmane Meh that it is high time he paid us.
Determined as never before for results.
We're not going anywhere. We'll keep sitting here. We'll be coming here tomorrow till they pay us. If they don't pay us 20 days later, we're not going back to school. That's our decision, and we cannot negotiate. We want our salaries. That's what we want.
This was before the watchful eyes of the forces of law and order and surprised Yaounde population. The divisional officer of Yaounde 3, Nestor Dim, also arrived to the scene, but the teachers took time to brief him on the different moves and this final decision. Traffic jam was also the order along that stretch of road, as all either slow down or stop to watch a sit-in by teachers in front of the Finance Ministry.
From striking teachers who have not been paid for 5 long years to clients in the microfinance institution in Sang Melima in the Ja and Lobo division who have been shedding tears as they are fears that the institution has gone bankrupt. Many of them stormed the premises of the bank demanding the payment of their life savings. Gladys Ambodibang has more.
The population of Sang Melima in the Ja and Lobo division is in total consternation. Clients of a local microfinance institution have been shedding tears ever since rumors spread that the financial institution has gone bankrupt and could possibly close down. I have worked so hard to save my money. I wake up every day at 3 a.m. to prepare rice, sauce and chicken to sell. And at the end of the day, I save the profits. I need my money. These young men and women are in the same situation. They are worried and want their money at all costs. One of them brandished check booklets, which he says the financial institution handed over to him to withdraw money with at his convenience, and question why they are unable to give him his savings. A bottle of drink could not console this lady. I left Yaounde to start up life in Saint-Melima. I saved about 200,000 francs from my own sweat. The number of the lady who received me is not even going through. My money is gone. The disastrous situation forced the divisional officer and the state council to meet the population to calm down tensions. We are trying to come up with a list so that the payments could be planned and to know on which date and what time people could be paid. Calm has, however, returned to Saint-Melima with hopes that those whose money have been saved could be paid.
From Saint-Melima, where those who kept their savings and seems to have gone in flames are shedding tears, to the Noon division, where an important stock of eggs and chicks have been seized by elements of the National Gendarmerie of Fumban and Kutaba. This follows a release signed by West Region's governor banning the sales of birds in the Noon division due to the outbreak of bird flu. Catala Crystal has more.
Some 540 egg trays and 87 chicks have been seized by elements of the National Gendarmerie of Fumban and Kutaba in the Noon division. I live in Fumbot and I sell chicks. I always come here to Fumban to sell them. These chicks are raised by my father. When he is done, I take them for supply. Then we begin the process again. This evening I was called by a customer in Fumban for supply. This comes after a release signed on the 17th of March by West Region Governor Awafonkwa Augustine banning the sales of poultry in the Noon. Though the owner of the chicks claims he was not aware of the governor's release, I heard rumors that there is a ban of sales of poultry in the Noon, but I did not really have deep information concerning the issue. It is just before you that I'm seeing the release. These measures have been put in place to eradicate bird flu in the Noon. A week ago, close to 4,300 birds were incinerated in Fumbot due to bird flu. The seized eggs and chicks have been deposited at the regional delegation of livestock and await incineration.
On a sad story, a 27-year-old man has been crushed to death by a lorry that apparently lost its brakes. Witnesses have blamed the accident on an inexperienced driver who is presently on the run. Our reporter, D. Morin, says the population of Kribi are still in shock.
Shock, panic and consternation still grips Kribi, the Ocean Division, following the death of a 27-year-old man crushed to death by a speedy truck transporting gravel. The accident happens in a small locality, Boncha, on the Kribi Highway. Witnesses have blamed the accident on a truck driver who they claim was driving the truck for the very first time. He said his inexperience and non-mastery of the highway code contributed in crushing to death the 27-year-old man. Truck driver is said to have smashed a corpse more than twice. Upon hearing the news, his colleagues immediately stormed the Kribi Hospital mortuary to see the corpse for themselves. The Gendarmerie has opened investigation. Reports hold that neither the driver nor the Chinese company where he works has been questioned.
We're going out of our borders, where violence has escalated in the Democratic Republic of Congo as mediation talks fails, while in Ghana, the purchase of new state cars has been banned. And next door, Nigeria, it is news of the outbreak of meningitis.
Police have been deployed in Kinshasa, the capital of the Democratic Republic of Congo, amidst tension after political talks on the country's future reached deadlock. Students have burnt tires and pelted police vehicles with stones. Reports say Kinshasa is dead today as security forces intervened. Meantime, the Democratic Republic of Congo's influential Catholic bishops have withdrawn as mediators in talks between the government and opposition after implementation of a deal aimed at ensuring that presidential elections are held this year. The bishops think they no longer have anything to do again, for they have given their time and energy while pastoral work is suffering. Ghanaian President Nana Akufo-Addo has banned the purchase of new state vehicles as the government continues to look for more than 200 that it says went missing under the previous administration. After previous transfer of power, state-owned vehicles have been seized from officials who did not want to return them. The president's official car is 10 years old. At least 140 people have been killed in a meningitis outbreak in 6 states in Nigeria, including the federal capital, Abuja. The head of the disease control in Nigeria says the death toll is expected to rise and that more than 1,000 people have been infected. Authorities are taking measures to curb the outbreak so that it doesn't get into refugee camps.
Back here in Cameroon, an ordinary session of the National Football Federation of Cameroon took place yesterday in Yaounde. The chair of the Cameroonian FA, Tombi Aroko Sidiki, with his team met to seek solutions plaguing football in the country. Tabby Clarkson has more.
How are you? Tombi Aroko Sidiki and 14 other members of the National Executive Bureau of FECAFOOT met this morning in an ordinary session at the Yaounde Montfebe Hotel. For close to 12 hours, the members of the Executive Bureau discussed pertinent issues, amongst them the construction of some stadia across the country.
There is a presentation that has been done by Mr. Honorable Kwaluk, who is the president of follow-up committee. So he said work is going on in Bamenda, in Bafia, Bangante and Saint-Melima. Hopefully within 4 or 5 months latest, we will launch all those stadiums.
The financial budget for 2017 was also part of the discussions, but most especially the issue of Tonnerre Kalara Club of Yaounde. The Mvogada team has not been playing since the start of Division 2 football some 5 weeks ago.
I just came back from the Prime Minister office, where we were called by the Prime Minister office to attend a meeting concerning this Tonnerre affair. So the decision after this meeting at the Prime Minister office was that this affair should go to the Ministry of Sport and Physical Education, because he's the one in charge of these matters. And certainly in the days ahead, the minister will call a meeting where all the parties will be called, and I think the minister will handle the case.
Apart from the Tonnerre saga, is a very confident Tombi Aroko Sidiki and members of the Executive Bureau of FECAFOOT, who all say FECAFOOT is waxing well.
I think so. I mean, you people should even judge better than us, because we are like those who are the actors. You people are the people to judge us. If you think that is waxing well, then I think that's waxing well. If you ask me, I would definitely say it's waxing well.
Optimism is plaguing the ranks of FECAFOOT And the executive members do believe that by the grace of God, the year 2017 will be another successful year at Fecafoot, and that the relations between Fecafoot and General Pierre Semenge of the National Football Professional League will also improve to the benefit of football.
It is with that Tabby Clarkson's news that will be running off our 4 p.m. news this afternoon here from the studios of Canal de English, and standing here at 8 p.m. tonight will be Henry Kejang Atembe. Tomorrow is another day, God willing.